What if
Subscribe
Adolf
channel
Hitler,
for more
one of history's most
informative videos.
notorious figures, had actually won World War II? But he didn't. Why not? How could a man who held such powerful sway over millions, who almost brought the world to its knees, fail so spectacularly? The answer lies in the decisions he made, decisions that would ultimately lead to his downfall. In the early 1930s, Hitler emerged as a charismatic leader, a beacon of hope for a Germany devastated by the Great Depression. His promises of prosperity and national pride resonated with the German people, who were desperate for a change. However, the first seeds of his failure were sown during this time. Hitler's obsession with racial purity and his decision to implement policies of racial cleansing and persecution were not only morally reprehensible, but also strategically flawed. These policies alienated many, both within Germany and internationally, and laid the groundwork for the global opposition he would later face. The decision to invade Poland in 1939 was another turning point. While this move initially seemed successful, it led Britain and France to declare war on Germany, marking the start of World War II. Hitler had underestimated the resolve of these nations, and this miscalculation would prove to be a significant factor in his failure. Then came the fatal decision to invade the Soviet Union in 1941. Hitler broke the non-aggression pact he had signed with Stalin 2 years earlier, a move that would stretch Germany's resources thin and open up a second front in the war. The brutal Russian winter and the fierce Soviet resistance led to massive casualties for the German army, turning the tide of the war against Hitler. Finally, Hitler's refusal to admit defeat, even as Allied forces were closing in on Berlin, was the last nail in the coffin. His stubborn insistence on fighting to the bitter end resulted in unnecessary loss of life and further destruction of Germany. In conclusion, Hitler's failure was ultimately due to a series of poor strategic decisions, underestimation of his enemies, and an obsession with racial purity that alienated potential allies. His inability to admit defeat and change course when things were clearly not going his way also contributed significantly to his downfall. From his rise to power on the wave of nationalistic fervor to his death in a bunker in Berlin, Hitler's journey was marked by decisions that not only led to his failure, but also caused untold suffering and destruction. It's a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the importance of making decisions based on reason and humanity, not prejudice and hatred.